is referring to God himself. Now he was riding upon his ass, his two servants were with him. The ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. The angel of the Lord had his sword. The ass could see it, Balaam couldn't see it. Not only couldn't he hear, but he couldn't see. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field. So Balaam smote the ass to turn her back onto the road. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. So there's a wall there, and there's Balaam, his servants, but there was still room. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she's still seeing this angel of the Lord. Maybe we should all be asses, eh? She thrust herself onto the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where there was nowhere to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And that is precisely where God is going to put us. He's going to put each of us in a narrow place because we will not listen. He says he's not going to hear our cry, but he's taking action now still to put us in a narrow place where we cannot move to the left, we cannot move to the right, and all we are confronted with is directly the angel of the Lord. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, What have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, Because thou hast mocked me, I would there were a sword in mine hand, for now would I kill thee. Balaam had so lost it, he didn't even stop to think, hold on here, what is going on? Would you have carried on that conversation? Maybe you would, I don't know. He didn't think it's strange, but I would think it's strange. I would say there's something strange going on here. He didn't. And the ass said unto Balaam, Am not I thine ass upon which thou hast ridden? Ever since I was thine unto this day, was I ever wont to do so unto thee? And he said, Nay. And then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And he bowed down his head and fell flat on his face. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, this is verse 32 of Numbers 22, Wherefore hast thou smitten thine ass these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is perverse before me. That is what is happening now. That is what's happening in Burma. That's what's happening in China. That's what's happening down in Chile. Our ways are perverse. God says, I will not hear. We are now going to reap what we sow. He has let loose the whirlwind. Literally, that's what it says. We have sown the wind, and we are going to reap the whirlwind. And God says, and the ass saw me, the angel of the Lord said, and the ass saw me, and turned from me these 3 times. Unless she had turned from me, surely now also I had slain thee, and saved her alive. God was going to save the life of the ass and let Balaam die. How bad is that? And Balaam said unto the angel of the Lord, I have sinned, for I knew not that thou stoodst in the way against me. What's he talking about? He sinned, for he knew not that thou stoodst in the way against me. He sinned because he was told, Thou shalt not go with them. That's where he sinned. Therefore, if it displease thee, I will get me back again. But you see, you remember I started by showing there were some things we didn't want to hear God say, but it's all in here. Do you notice? You see, the angel of the Lord himself stood up against Balaam. Balaam was told he wouldn't hear. And when he wouldn't hear, God wouldn't hear either. God said, I'm going to eliminate him. But you know, Balaam is not just simply an Old Testament report, you know. Balaam working to do evil for money goes right down to the book of Revelation. Yes, right down to the book of Revelation. You'll see it in there that you know, God says, this thing I have against you, because you have those who have the doctrine of Balaam. Revelation 2 and verse 14, but I have a few things against thee. This is talking to believers, the church. Because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. It's all wrapped up in the money business, and you know the way the churches are. I don't have to go into that again now. So basically we're in the situation that God, in our prosperity, and we are prosperous. Don't hear how badly we think things are. You know, most of us aren't starving. In our prosperity, God spoke to us, and we didn't listen. We chose not to listen. Now he's saying, you know, in your trouble, I won't listen now. And the troubles are coming thick and fast. We have had some beautiful days here, beautiful sunshine, warm temperatures, very warm temperatures. I've been outside doing some gardening. But you know, we have had very little. Other parts of the country have had rain, but since last year, the area in Northampton where I live, we have had very little rain.